You've felt it, haven't you? A change in the air when you think of him. A weightless shift, almost as if your soul is holding its breath. The angels have watched this unfold. The subtle electricity when his name crosses your mind. The way your heart aches without understanding why. You didn't plan this. You didn't chase it. But here it is, a connection so divinely woven that even silence speaks volumes. There's something sacred about the way you entered his life. A whisper from heaven that said, she will show him what love really means. And without even realizing it, you did just that. The way you held space for him, without asking for anything in return, left indelible marks on his soul. The angels say he saw the light in you before he even understood what he was searching for. This person had built walls, tall, thick, silent walls, to keep his heart safe. Yet your essence seeped through the cracks. Not because you forced your way in, but because your presence was healing. A reflection of everything he didn't know he yearned for. There's a reason he couldn't forget you. Why no one else feels quite right. Why his thoughts drift back to you in the quietest hours of the night. The angels reveal that your soul called his forth, not for romance, but for remembrance. You reminded him of a version of himself he thought had vanished. The one capable of gentleness, truth, and surrender. And now, he's unsettled. Not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much. It terrifies him. How could someone so steady, so composed, feel this undone in your presence? The answer, the angels say, is simple. You were sent to awaken his heart. You are not a distraction. You are the divine assignment. A vessel chosen to reignite what he buried. And he feels it, oh how he feels it. In every conversation he replays, in every memory he guards like a secret. You didn't come into his life to be another chapter. You came to be the turning point. He doesn't know how to say it yet. But the angels whisper, he sees in you everything he's ever prayed for, and feared he'd never find. Let your heart receive this truth. You didn't need to prove yourself to be chosen. You already are. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. Ephesians 2 verse 10. He wants to love you, but something inside him trembles at the very thought. Not because you are too much, but because you are everything. And to allow everything in means facing every part of himself that still feels empty. The angels say, he has loved before, but not like this. Not with his soul exposed. Not with the risk of being seen too deeply. That's why he pulls away, then circles back. That's why his silence speaks of chaos, not indifference. There are wounds within him that still bleed, quietly, invisibly. Betrayals he never voiced. Abandonments that carved fear into his spirit. He learned early that love often demanded too much and left too little behind. So, he taught himself to survive without it. To become his own shelter. Then came you. You with your softness that doesn't collapse. You, who saw through him and didn't run. Your presence broke the spell. It whispered you're safe now, while his old scars screamed, don't believe it. He wants to trust this. He needs to trust this. But his heart doesn't know how to receive something so pure, so patient. Not yet. And that not yet is the ache you felt in his distance. The angels want you to understand, it's not your fault that he holds back. You didn't cause his fear, you just touched it. And in doing so, you've initiated a healing process that neither of you fully comprehends yet. This isn't rejection. This is resurrection. Slow, sacred, and painful. One layer at a time, his defenses will come down. Not because you force them, but because your light makes it unbearable for him to continue living in the dark. He resists, but he remembers. And that memory of how your love made him feel seen is what will guide him back to you. He's not running from you. He's running from the version of himself that still believes he doesn't deserve you. You don't have to lose yourself to love someone who is still finding their way. The angels are clear. You were never meant to burn out trying to keep someone else warm. There is a tenderness within you, a natural instinct to hold, to heal, to give. And somewhere along the way, that tenderness became a burden you carried alone. Because when he stumbles, you rise. When he withdraws, you reach out. But who reaches for you? The angels say, your light is not a resource to be drained. It is a flame to be honored. It's time to remember that your well-being matters just as much as the love you're trying to give. That caring deeply doesn't mean abandoning yourself. That waiting for someone to be ready doesn't require you to remain stagnant in the meantime. Your soul was not sent here to fix anyone. You were sent to shine, and in shining, to awaken what lies dormant in others. But you must protect your glow. You must learn the sacred art of choosing yourself first, not as an act of selfishness, but of survival. He will come, if he is meant to. But let him meet you whole, not empty. Let him approach the version of you who is grounded, not reaching. Because your love, when offered from abundance, heals more than your love given from depletion. The angels remind you, there is a reason you feel exhausted. You've been carrying what was never yours to hold. Now it's time to lay it down. Rest, beloved. Rest in the knowledge that you don't have to prove your worth by enduring pain. Rest in the truth that your peace is sacred. Rest in the grace of choosing your joy, even if it means walking alone for a while. Your heart is not a project site. It's a sanctuary. And you are allowed to lock the door until love arrives with reverence. You didn't just catch his eye. You cracked his mirror. And what he sees now terrifies him. The angels say, your presence reflects everything he tried to bury. You don't just stir his heart, you awaken his shadows. The ones he thought he'd escaped. The ones he dressed in silence and distraction. The ones that whisper, you're not enough, even when you say otherwise. When he looks at you, he sees light, and suddenly realizes how long he's been living without it. He sees devotion, and feels every moment he chose distance. He sees truth, and remembers how often he's hidden behind smiles. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't about you. It never was. You're not the cause of his struggle. You're the mirror he didn't know he needed. The angels remind you, your love isn't confusing, it's confronting. That's why he flinches. That's why he wavers. Because to let you in, he would have to meet parts of himself he's avoided for years. And yet, he keeps circling back. Why? Because his soul remembers. Remembers a time, before all the wounds, when he believed in love. Remembers a place, maybe in another life, where your eyes felt like home. This is not resistance to you. It's resistance to healing. And healing, as sacred as it is, often comes wrapped in grief. He's not avoiding love. He's avoiding being seen. Truly seen. Because being seen means being vulnerable. And vulnerability has always felt like a threat. But you, beloved, see with mercy. You love with gentleness. You hold space, not judgment. The angels say, your gaze is the invitation. Your heart is the doorway. But he must choose to walk through. And until he does, keep your mirror clean. Let him face himself. Let your love be a reflection, not a rescue. Something is shifting. Slowly. Quietly. Like morning light spilling through closed curtains. He may not say it. He may not even fully understand it yet. But the awakening has begun. The angels say, your energy has become impossible to ignore. It follows him, in silence, in song, in the way his breath catches when he remembers you. He thought he could move on. He thought time and space would dissolve the ache. But instead, the ache became a compass. Now he notices things. The way love in others looks shallow compared to what he felt with you. The way your absence echoes louder than your presence ever did. These are the first signs. These are the cracks in the walls he swore he'd never open again. This is the beginning of him seeing you not just as a memory, but as a mirror to the man he could be, if he allowed himself to grow. The angels whisper, every step away from you has felt like a step away from himself. And that's what haunts him. Not the loss of your body, but the loss of who he became in your presence. Kind, honest, real. You made him feel like he could be someone he wasn't afraid of being. And now, he wants that back. Maybe not with clarity. Maybe not with a plan. But with longing, that sacred ache that says, there's more here. Don't give up. He may reach out in small ways. A question. A glance. A moment of vulnerability so brief you almost miss it. Don't rush to interpret it. Don't hold your breath. Just notice. The seed is breaking through the soil. And even the smallest sprout is still proof of life. The angels say, this is not the end. This is the stirring. The soul remembering what the mind tried to forget. And what comes next will depend not on force, but on faith. He comes close, and then disappears. Again. And again. Like the tide that kisses the shore only to retreat in fear of staying. The angels say, he is not being cruel. He is being human. His heart is trying to outrun something it deeply desires, but doesn't yet know how to receive. This isn't rejection. This is rhythm. A painful, sacred rhythm of resistance and return. You feel it every time he fades, the sudden stillness, the weight of silence. And just as you begin to let go, he reappears with softness in his voice, as if nothing ever happened. That's not manipulation. That's a man caught in a loop. Trapped between the memory of pain and the hope for something pure. He's trying to protect himself from what he calls too much. But the angels reveal, it's not too much. It's just unfamiliar. He has never known a love that doesn't demand, that doesn't abandon, that doesn't betray. And so, your gentleness feels suspicious. Your consistency feels unreal. The closer he gets to you, the more the old ghosts wake up. The ones that whisper, you'll lose yourself again. The ones that shout, this will end like it always does. So he runs. Not because of you, but because of what love has meant to him in the past. But even as he runs, he looks back. The angels say, he keeps returning because the soul cannot forget what the mind fears. You are the only place he has felt seen without being judged. Held without being cornered. And that feeling pulls him in. No matter how far he tries to go. This cycle isn't forever. But it is sacred. It is where he is learning the difference between comfort and connection. Between routine and revelation. Let him move. Let him wrestle. But don't make a home in the waiting. You are not his lesson. You are his lighthouse. He doesn't say it out loud, but your love has softened him. Quietly. Relentlessly. Like sunlight warming the frozen ground, your presence began to melt what years of silence had sealed shut. The angels tell us, your love is not just affection, it's alchemy. You didn't just love him, you saw him. And being seen, that was the start of the healing. He didn't realize he was bleeding until your hands stopped the wound. Not by fixing it. Not by forcing it. Just by being calm, patient, steadfast. While others demanded he change, you embraced what he already was. And in that embrace, his shame began to loosen. There are parts of him that still resist, parts that flinch when tenderness comes too close. But even there, your love seeps in. In the moments in between. In the forgiveness you offer without words. In the way you never weaponize his silence, even when it hurts. The angels reveal, he is changing, even if he doesn't say so. Your energy is rewiring something ancient in his soul. You've become the gentle voice that challenges the one inside him that says, you are not lovable. And for the first time, that voice is losing its power. You've taught him that love doesn't have to roar to be heard. That it can be a whisper, steady, consistent, sacred. That love doesn't always arrive with fireworks. Sometimes, it's a warm cup left at the door. A gaze that says, you don't have to be perfect to stay. This is the kind of love that heals. The kind that doesn't rush. The kind that recognizes pain but chooses softness anyway. The angels say, he is not afraid of you. He is afraid of needing you, because needing has always meant disappointment. But with you, it might mean home. Don't doubt the medicine you carry. It is working, in unseen places, at a pace only heaven understands. There is a rhythm beneath all of this, a timing not of your own. And although it may feel uncertain, the angels are clear, everything is unfolding exactly as heaven intended. You've questioned the delays. You've replayed his hesitations. You've wondered why a love so vibrant must wait in shadows. But the truth is, sacred things grow slowly. And this connection is nothing if not sacred. The angels say, this isn't waiting, it's preparation. Not just for him, but for you too. There are layers still being stripped away. Old identities that must dissolve. Wounds that still whisper before they can be silenced. What looks like distance is actually divine space. The kind that allows both souls to breathe, to expand, to remember who they are without losing the other. You are not being tested. You are being trusted. God is not withholding. He is weaving. Behind the veil of the visible, pieces are shifting. Hearts are softening. Courage is being born in silence. Sometimes, the most miraculous work happens in stillness. The angels show you walking ahead on a golden path, seemingly alone, but you're not. There is a presence beside you, always, orchestrating encounters, closing wrong doors, timing the return not to your desire, but to your destiny. And the man you hold in your heart? He too is being guided. Slowly awakening to truths he once resisted. Reaching for strength he never knew he'd need. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. The heavens are watching closely. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it will certainly come, it will not delay. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. This is not delay. This is divine design. He hides it well, the tremble in his spirit when he gets too close. He laughs. He deflects. He disappears. But the truth is, loving you terrifies him. The angels say, he doesn't fear you. He fears what you make him feel. Because what you evoke in him demands truth. And he spent years building safety on stories that kept his heart hidden. Your presence is not just comfort, it's confrontation. A sacred pressure that urges him to soften when he only knows how to arm himself. You make him want to be honest, but he's still learning how to speak that language. You make him want to be seen, but he's still not sure he can bear the light. This love, the one that stirred from your touch, is not soft for him. It's a storm. And not because you did anything wrong, but because you did everything right. The angels whisper, he wishes he could love you without fear. But loving you means undoing the parts of himself that have felt unloved for so long. There are nights he stares at your photo, not for beauty, but for clarity. Trying to see if he is enough. Wondering if he'll ever be able to hold what he's always wanted without dropping it from trembling hands. The more he feels for you, the more exposed he becomes. And exposure, to someone who's known betrayal, feels like danger. He doesn't want to hurt you. He doesn't want to keep hiding. But right now, the ache of wanting you wars with the terror of failing you. The angels are near. They guide his steps. They hold his heart like a child learning to walk. And they whisper to him in his quietest hours, she sees you. She still chooses you. You don't have to run. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. Let him come undone. Sometimes love begins at the breaking. There is a stillness now. Not silence, not absence, but stillness. The kind that comes after a long storm, when the sky finally exhales. And in this breath, the angels speak, let go, not of him but of the need to control how this love unfolds. You've done your part. You've loved with open hands, stayed when it hurt, hoped when logic begged you to walk away. And now, the journey is no longer about waiting for him to choose you. It's about choosing yourself, fully, wildly, without apology. The angels say, Love is not a reward for sacrifice. It is a reflection of alignment. If it costs you your peace, it's not your path. Not yet. That doesn't mean he won't come. That doesn't mean the story ends. It means the next chapter is not yours to write alone. He is still learning. Still letting go of the lies he believed about himself. Still remembering that he is worthy of the kind of love you offer. But the healing is his. The courage is his. And the timing belongs to heaven. You were not created to diminish while someone else grows. You were not sent here to be a placeholder for a man who cannot yet stand in the truth of what he feels. The angels urge you, release the pressure. Release the grip. Let the love breathe. What is meant for you will never need to be chased. It will rest beside you, sure and steady, when it's ready. And until then, you are allowed to dance with your own joy, sleep in your own light, and rise for no one but yourself. This is not abandonment. This is acceptance. The holiest kind. The kind that says, I trust God more than I trust my fears. I trust the unfolding. The angels bow as you do this. Because few have the courage to surrender what they love, not in loss, but in reverence. And so we end here, not with closure, but with faith. The love that is true will return. And this time, it will stay.